And welcome back to Boom and Bust. I'm your host, Tony Clement, here with Dr. Livio Di Matteo, Lakehead University in Thunder Bay. Livio, one of the other things that I've noticed in the last few months with the Ford government is that real concentration on identifying the labor market. Obviously, it has been radically transformed, and certainly COVID has had an impact on that as well. And new protections for those workers in the gig economy, for example, emphasis on the trades part of the economy. I'd love to get your commentary on that too. Surely you've noticed this as well.
I have noticed a bit of that. The trades aspect is particularly important in Ontario's labor force. Something like, I think, 20% now, or 20% of employment is between the ages of 55 and 65. So if you look at a lot of the tradespeople, whether it's bricklayers or carpenters, they worked through the pandemic under fairly, onerous conditions. And now they are getting close to retirement. And if you look at who's coming up, there's going to be some massive shortages of these tradespeoples, pipe fitters and plumbers, etc. So anything that can be done to increase that supply, to increase entry level into that is going to be very important. I mean, a lot of investment in the business sector, government is all going to grind to a halt if they don't have the tradespeople that are needed. And I mean, this extends to the entire labor force, really. It's not just tradespeople that are going to be retiring. You're going to have other professionals in the healthcare sector, which has been severely stressed. And so the question is, how do we get more people into the occupations that are going to be driving the Ontario economy? And that's not going to be easy demographically. It is an aging population. Immigration, I guess, is one way to do it. And so, the Canadian immigration system is a point system. And, we are trying to recruit as many skilled people as possible. But again, losing 15 to 20% over the next 5 to 10 years of
that's a huge number.
That's huge. We're not talking about a little bit of turnover. This is a lot. And I don't think the public is fully cognizant of just how big the gap is going to be. And they probably won't realize it until it's time to get things done. It's interesting that I know I'm using Thunder Bay as an example, but Thunder Bay has been aging, relatively speaking, faster than other parts of the province. A lot of the service sector jobs, there's no one to fill them. Never mind trades. There's the shortages there. And right now the gap is being filled by international students. They come into Lakehead, and if you go to the local Walmart or the superstore or restaurants, it's basically international students that are filling them on a part-time basis. The traditional pool for those jobs, even high school students, doesn't seem to be there. And so that's a bit of a concern, because who is then going to move into these positions if there seems to be a shortage? So do you address it through immigration? Do you address it through financial incentives or job retraining? That's going to be an important challenge for any party that forms the government.
Is this a relatively new phenomenon, Livio?
It's been going on for a while, but I think the pandemic may have accelerated. I think the pandemic has really burned out a lot of people, and some people have decided they're going to retire early. Again, the other thing to do is maybe if you can provide incentives to prevent people from retiring early, depending on the sector, that might also help fill the gap. But it will be a challenge.
What else does Ontario need to be doing? We've got about 30 seconds left to deal with these productivity gaps.
Well, they should invest astutely. If you're going to spend public money on infrastructure, you really have to make sure you make the investments based on where you expect the highest rate of return. The risk when interest rates are low is that, well, the lowest price in the law and everything gets funded. And that's probably not the best way to spend your public dollars at the margin. You want to be more careful in the projects that you're investing in, and you might want to get some expertise as opposed to simply political decision making in terms of where the projects are funded and placed.